Question number 1. Joining of stalk and scion is called as dash.
Good job. Your answer grafting works well here.
Question number 2. The male organs in flowering plants are dash.
Exactly. Stamen makes sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 3. It produces male sex cells or pollen grains.
Excellent. Anther is a brilliant choice.
Question number 4. During microsporogenesis, meiosis occurs in.
Clear logic. Your choice microspore mother cells is sound and 100% true.
Question number 5. Seed dispersal in coconut is aided by winds.
Correct. False is the right answer.
Question number 6. What are the names of plants' sexual organs?
Nicely done. Stamen and pistil is a solid answer.
Question number 7. Dash is an example for dispersal by animals.
Well reasoned. Caltrop is the correct choice.
Question number 8. Name 2 ways that seeds can be transported.
You got it? Your choice 2 is right.
Question number 9. What is the part that produce pollen grains?
Smart move. Anther is an accurate answer.
Question number 10. Which is not a type of asexual reproduction?
You're right. Fertilization is the correct answer.
Question number 11. Pollination happens by wind and insects both.
Strong choice. True is the right answer.
Question number 12. True or false? The pollen is a male gamete?
You chose false, and it is correct.
Question number 13. Which of the following is not a pollinator?
Excellent choice. Scorpion is the right answer.
Question number 14. What conditions do seeds need to germinate?
Great thinking. Water and oxygen is the right choice.
Question number 15. Binary fission produces cells that are dash.
Nice selection. Same size is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 16. The plant male sex cell is also called dash.
Correct response. Pollen grain is the most accurate answer.
Question number 17. Anther contains female gametes called eggs.
Valid point. False is true.
Question number 18. Pollination is the transfer of pollen from. Great job. Anther to stigma is the accurate answer. Question number 19. The female gamete in the fern plant is dash. Right choice. Oocyte is the best answer.
Question number 20. The plants which have unisexual flowers are. Well picked. All of the above is the correct answer.
Question number 21. The spores are asexual reproductive bodies.
On track. True is the correct answer.
Question number 22. These plants reproduce through seeds except.
Bravo! Sugarcane plant is the answer.
Question number 23. Which of these reproduces by fragmentation?
Good thinking. Spirogyra is the right answer.
Question number 24. Organism that reproduces by budding is dash.
Solid response. Yeast is a valid choice.
Question number 25. Dash type of reproduction occurs in amoeba.
Sharp thinking. Binary fusion is the right choice.
Question number 26. Which of the following is not a dicot seed?
Well done. Wheat is the right choice.
Question number 27. The growth of a seed into a plant is called?
Smart pick. Germination is the correct choice.
Question number 28. Where does fertilization occur in a flower?
Right again. Eggs is a valid answer.
Question number 29. Persistent nucellus in the seed is known as?
Nice work. You chose perisperm and it is correct.
Question number 30. Which one of the following is a false fruit?
Perfect. Apple is the correct choice.
Question number 31. What kind of reproduction do yeast perform?
Excellent choice. Budding is the right answer.
Question number 32. Ferns reproduce sexually by producing dash. Right again. Spores is a valid answer. Question number 33. Reproduction of plants is important because?
Well picked. Plants supply the oxygen is the correct answer.
Question number 34. The female reproductive part of a plant is?
You chose pistil, and it is correct.
Question number 35. The dash of anther may have polyploid cells.
Well done. Carpet is the right choice.
Question number 36. Conditions necessary for seed germination.
Exactly. All of the above makes sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 37. It protects the inner parts of the flower.
Smart pick. Sepals is the correct choice.
Question number 38. What is another name for flowering plants?
Sharp thinking. Angiosperm is the right choice.
Question number 39. Vegetative bud is present in which region?
Strong choice. Axis is the right answer.
Question number 40. Pollination by slugs and snails are called?
Nice work. You chose Malacophyllae, and it is correct.
Question number 41. Ginger is an underground stem is called as?
Correct response. Rhizome is the most accurate answer.
Question number 42. Which of these are components of a pistil?
Well reasoned. All of the above is the correct choice.
Question number 43. A typical angiosperm embryo at maturity is?
Right choice. 7-celled 8-nucleate is the best answer.
Question number 44. Sexual reproduction involves dash parents.
Nice selection. 2 is the correct and valid answer. Question number 45. A sporangium that develops megaspores.
Nicely done. Megasporangium is a solid answer.
Question number 46. Ripened ovary and ovule are respectively?
Smart move. Fruit and seed is an accurate answer.
Question number 47. What conditions are needed for germination?
Good job. Your answer: water, oxygen, warmth works well here.
Question number 48. New plants can be produced without seeds.
You're right. True is the correct answer.
Question number 49. What part of the flower holds the pollen?
Bravo. Anther is the answer.
Question number 50. Seeds with 1 cotyledons are called dash.
Solid response. Monocot is a valid choice.
Question number 51. Sexual reproduction helps in getting dash.
On track. More variation is the correct answer.
Question number 52. The fern has underground stem called dash. Clear logic? Your choice rhizoid is sound and 100% true.
Question number 53. Dash is the reproductive part of a plant?
Valid point. Flower is true.
Question number 54. The outer cover that protects the seed is?
Great thinking. Seed coat is the right choice.
Question number 55. Plants always reproduce to increase their.
Correct. Numbers is the right answer.
Question number 56. The female reproductive part of a flower. You got it. Your choice gynosium is right.
Question number 57. How many types of reproduction are there? Perfect. 2 is the correct choice.
Question number 58. A type of flower containing the 4 whorls?
Good thinking. Complete flower is the right answer.
Question number 59. How do spider plants reproduce asexually?
Great job. Runners is the accurate answer.
Question number 60. A dioecious flowering plant prevents both.
Excellent. Autogamy and geitonogamy is a brilliant choice. Question number 61. What is the function of flowers in plants?
Right choice. Reproduction is the best answer.
Question number 62. A coconut would probably be dispersed by?
On track. Water is the correct answer. Question number 63. Which part of the plant makes the pollen?
Great thinking. Anther is the right choice. Question number 64. An example of reproduction through roots?
Exactly. Sweet potato makes sense and it is right choice. Question number 65. The corolla is formed by a group of dash.
Good thinking. Petals is the right answer. Question number 66. Bisexual flowers are also called as dash.
Solid response. Hermaphrodites is a valid choice. Question number 67. A seed can move by wind, water, and dash. Smart pick. Animals is the correct choice.
Question number 68. Name the sac-like structure in Nucellus.
Excellent choice. Embryo sac is the right answer. Question number 69, which means producing new living things.
Nice selection. Reproduction is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 70. Which part does the filament belongs to?
Bravo. Stamen is the answer.
Question number 71. Papaya and mulberry are examples of dash.
Nicely done. Unisexual flowers is a solid answer.
Question number 72. Vegetative propagation is a part of dash. Right again. Asexual reproduction is a valid answer. Question number 73. Stigma is located in dash part of carpel. Well done. Uppermost is the right choice.
Question number 74. Insects are not helpful in pollination.
Perfect. False is the correct choice.
Question number 75. Vegetative propagation is an example of.
Great job. Asexual reproduction is the accurate answer.
Question number 76. The gametophyte bears the dash and dash.
Well picked. Antheridium and Archegonium is the correct answer.
Question number 77. Coconut water from a tender coconut is. You got it. Your choice-free nuclear endosperm is right.
Question number 78. Which is the following is a true fruit?
Strong choice. Orange is the right answer.
Question number 79. Any change in an organism's environment?
Correct response. Stimulus is the most accurate answer.
Question number 80. The cell formed after fusion of gametes.
Clear logic. Your choice zygote is sound and 100% true. Question number 81. The distance between two nodes is called. Smart move. Internode is an accurate answer.
Question number 82. Plants also reproduce to maintain their.
Well reasoned. Species is the correct choice. Question number 83. Engrafting the upper part is known as. Sharp thinking. Cyan is the right choice.
Question number 84. Which structure contains the egg cells?
Valid point. Ovary is true.
Question number 85. Which is not a female part of a flower?
Correct. Filament is the right answer. Question number 86. New plants can grow from the leaves of. You're right. Bryophyllum is the correct answer. Question number 87. Non-flowering plants reproduce by dash. Excellent. Sporangia is a brilliant choice.
Question number 88. Bryophyllum reproduce through its dash.
Nice work. You chose leaf and it is correct.
Question number 89. Dash are the carriers of male gametes.
You chose pollen tubes and it is correct. Question number 90. Seed structure that grows become roots. Good job. Your answer radical works well here.
Question number 91. Apomictic embryos in citrus arise from.
Solid response. Nuclear cells is a valid choice. Question number 92. Another name for reproduction of seeds.
Well picked. Sexual reproduction is the correct answer.
Question number 93. Bryophyllum can reproduce by its dash. Nicely done. Leaves is a solid answer.
Question number 94. Stem, roots, leaves are classified as.
Well reasoned. Vegetative parts is the correct choice. Question number 95. Which of these develops into the seed? Right again. Ovule is a valid answer. Question number 96. Which of these is not part of a flower? Right choice. None of the above is the best answer.
Question number 97. Seeds of orchids get dispersed by dash.
Correct response. Wind is the most accurate answer.
Question number 98. Bird-pollinated flowers typically have.
Nice selection. Large amounts of nectar is the correct and valid answer. Question number 99. Dash is example of multi-ovulate plant. Good job. Your answer tomato works well here. Question number 100. What is a flower in a flowering plant? Excellent choice. Organ is the right answer. Question number 101. These are the female parts of a flower. Nice work. You chose pistil, ovary, and egg, and it is correct.
Question number 102. The eye of the potato plant is what?
On track. The root is the correct answer.
Question number 103. The pollen-producing part of a flower.
Sharp thinking. Stamen is the right choice.
Question number 104. A seed that is spread by explosion is.
Great thinking. Peas is the right choice.
Question number 105. Which among the following is diploid?
Well done. Nucellus is the right choice.
Question number 106. What is the product of fertilization?
Perfect. Zygote is the correct choice.
Question number 107. Which organism reproduces by budding?
Strong choice. Yeast is the right answer.
Question number 108. The vegetative bud is present in dash.
Bravo. Xe is the answer.
Question number 109. How do you call the fertilized ovule?
Excellent. Embryo is a brilliant choice.
Question number 110. A plant makes its own food in the dash.
Exactly. Leaves make sense, and it is right choice. Question number 111. Vegetative propagation takes place by smart pick. Seed is the correct choice. Question number 112. Flowers and fruits are classified as. You're right. Reproductive part is the correct answer.
Question number 113. Most attractive part of plant is dash.
Good thinking. Flower is the right answer.
Question number 114. What are the parts divided into dash?
Clear logic. Your choice pistil and stamen is sound and 100% true.
Question number 115. The parts of the carpel include dash.
Smart move. Stigma style. Ovary is an accurate answer.
Question number 116. The mode of reproduction in flowers.
You got it. Your choice asexual and sexual is right.
Question number 117. Spores are dash reproductive bodies.
Valid point. Asexual reproductive bodies is true. Question number 118. Another name for the plant Lajwanti.
Correct. Touch me not is the right answer. Question number 119. The flower's female sexual organ is.
Great job. The pistil is the accurate answer.
Question number 120. Which are the male parts of a plant?
You chose stamen, and it is correct. Question number 121. Angiosperms are cone-bearing plants.
Correct response. False is the most accurate answer.
Question number 122. Microsporangia develops to form dash.
Solid response. Pollen sacs is a valid choice. Question number 123. Chlamydomonas shows multiple fission. Well picked. True is the correct answer.
Question number 124. The fruit wall is also known as dash.
Clear logic. Your choice pericarp is sound and 100% true.
Question number 125. What are the two types of reproduction?
Great thinking. Sexual and asexual is the right choice.
Question number 126. Budding in yeast is a form of dash.
Well reasoned. Asexual reproduction is the correct choice.
Question number 127. What are the male reproductive part?
Great job. Anther, filament, pollen grains is the accurate answer.
Question number 128. The other name for genoecium is dash.
Good thinking. Carpel is the right answer.
Question number 129. The male flower part called as dash.
Right again. Stamen is a valid answer. Question number 130. Dash develops and forms the plants.
Well done. Seedling is the right choice.
Question number 131. reproductive walls of a flower are? Exactly. Stamens and carpels make sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 132. Amoeba most commonly reproduces by.
Strong choice. Binary fission is the right answer.
Question number 133. Germ pore is an area where exene is.
Smart pick. Absent is the correct choice.
Question number 134. Seed plants use seeds to reproduce.
Nice work. You chose true and it is correct.
Question number 135. The most common gymnosperms are the.
Right choice. Conifers is the best answer.
Question number 136. Which is the male organ of a flower?
Nicely done. Stamen is a solid answer.
Question number 137. Flower with only carpel is known as.
Valid point. Pistillate is true.
Question number 138. Exine of a pollen grain is made of.
Bravo. Sporopollenin is the answer.
Question number 139. Most common means of pollination is.
Smart move. Air is an accurate answer.
Question number 140. The male part of the flower is dash.
You got it. Your choice stamen is right.
Question number 141. The female structure of the flower.
Sharp thinking. Pistil is the right choice.
Question number 142. Which of the following is correct?
On track. Begonia leaves is the correct answer.
Question number 143. Another word for buds in the axil.
You're right. Axillary bud is the correct answer.
Question number 144. Non-albuminous seed is produced in.
Nice selection. P is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 145. Ferns and mosses reproduce by dash.
Excellent choice. Spore formation is the right answer.
Question number 146. Buds on potato are known as a dash.
Correct. IS is the right answer.
Question number 147. Pollination by insects is known as.
Perfect. Entomophily is the correct choice.
Question number 148. Sparagia reproduces asexually by.
You chose fragmentation, and it is correct.
Question number 149. Generative nucleus divides forming.
Excellent. 2 male nuclei is a brilliant choice.
Question number 150. Internally, the uterus opens into.
Good job. Your answer vagina works well here.
Question number 151. Name the female part of the plant.
Solid response. Carpel is a valid choice.
Question number 152. What does a pollen grain contain?
You chose male gametes, and it is correct. Question number 153. Bryophyllum has dash in the leaf.
Nice work. You chose buds and it is correct.
Question number 154. What is another name for stolons?
Smart pick. Runners is the correct choice.
Question number 155. A dash is a female plant part.
Good job. Your answer still works well here.
Question number 156. In yeasts, reproduction occurs by.
Strong choice. Budding is the right answer.
Question number 157. What parts is the pistil made of?
Great job. Stigma, style, and ovary is the accurate answer.
Question number 158. Which is not a natural pollinator?
Bravo. Tiger is the answer.
Question number 159. Which structure holds the pollen?
Valid point. Answer is true.
Question number 160. Seed structure that protects seed.
Perfect. Seed coat is the correct choice.
Question number 161. The male sex organ is called dash.
Right choice. Testosterone is the best answer.
Question number 162. Bisexual flower is also known as.
Well picked. Complete flower is the correct answer.
Question number 163. Dash a spore-producing structure.
You're right. Sporophyte is the correct answer.
Question number 164. Root, stem and leaves are called.
On track. Vegetative parts is the correct answer.
Question number 165. Which fruit is dispersed by wind?
Excellent choice. Shoria is the right answer.
Question number 166. The dash produces pollen grains.
Correct response. Anther is the most accurate answer.
Question number 167. Budding is commonly seen in dash.
Sharp thinking. Yeast is the right choice. Question number 168. Agents of cross-pollination are.
Exactly. All of the above makes sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 169. In pollination, what is produced?
Clear logic. Your choice male gamete is sound and 100% true.
Question number 170. Potato plant rising part is dash.
Right again. Stem is a valid answer.
Question number 171. Seeds are produced from the dash.
Smart move. Eggs is an accurate answer.
Question number 172. What is the function of a petal?
Well reasoned. Attracts insects is the correct choice.
Question number 173. The innermost whorl of a flower.
Nicely done. Carpel is a solid answer.
Question number 174. What does the pistil consist of?
Well done. All of them is the right choice.
Question number 175. Sporogyra reproducts would dash.
You got it. Your choice fragmentation is right.
Question number 176. What happens after pollination?
Correct. Fertilization is the right answer.
Question number 177. The female part of a flower is.
Excellent. Carpel is a brilliant choice.
Question number 178. Spirogyra is type or species of.
Good thinking. Algae is the right answer.
Question number 179. Embryo sac is located inside the.
Great thinking. Oval is the right choice.
Question number 180. Polygonum type of embryo sac is.
Nice selection. Haploid is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 181. A flower cannot self-pollinate.
Great thinking. False is the right choice.
Question number 182. An embryo of a seed consists of.
Excellent. Plumule and radicle is a brilliant choice.
Question number 183. Dandelion seed is dispersed by.
Solid response. Wind is a valid choice.
Question number 184. A tuber bud is known as a dash.
On track. I is the correct answer.
Question number 185. Keeps the seed from drying out.
Right again. Seed coat is a valid answer.
Question number 186.
pollination take place in dash?
Nice selection. Spring is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 187. Rose and lemon are grown using.
Exactly. Stem cuttings make sense and it is right choice.
Question number 188. Identify the incorrect option.
Well picked. Alga spore formation is the correct answer.
Question number 189. Vegetative bud is also called.
Perfect. Axillary bud is the correct choice.
Question number 190. Asexual reproduction involves.
Correct. A single parent plant is the right answer.
Question number 191. Each spore is covered by dash. Excellent choice. A hard protective coat is the right answer.
Question number 192. All living organisms can dash.
Valid point. Reproduce is true.
Question number 193. Wind pollination is common in.
You got it. Your choice grasses is right.
Question number 194. Mosses and ferns reproduce by.
Strong choice. Spore formation is the right answer.
Question number 195. Where is the pollen produced?
Smart move. Anther is an accurate answer.
Question number 196. Spirogyra would be reproduced.
Clear logic. Your choice fragmentation is sound and 100% true.
Question number 197. The carpel pistil consists of. Correct response. Stigma, style, and ovary is the most accurate answer. Question number 198. How can plants can reproduce?
Good thinking. Sexual and asexual is the right answer.
Question number 199. Who initiated embryo culture?
You chose E, and it is correct. Question number 200. Fruits are produced from dash.
Sharp thinking. Seeds is the right choice.
Question number 2 and 1. What develops from the ovary?
You're right. Fruit is the correct answer.
Question number 202. Dash transformed into seeds.
Good job. Your answer eggs works well here.
Question number 2 and 3. What a plant or animal does?
Nice work. You chose behavior, and it is correct.
Question number 204. Pollination by ant is called.
Well done. Myrmecophily is the right choice. Question number 205. Filiform apparatus occurs in. Right choice. Synergids is the best answer.
Question number 206. Vallisneria is pollinated by.
Well reasoned. Water is the correct choice.
Question number 2 and 7. Where do pollen grains form?
Smart pick. Anther is the correct choice.
Question number 208. Perisperm is the remains of.
Great job. Nucellus is the accurate answer.
Question number 219. What is the other name sepal?
Bravo. Calyx is the answer.
Question number 210. Agents of seed dispersal are.
Nicely done. All of these is a solid answer.
Question number 211. Coconut seed is dispersed by.
You're right. Water is the correct answer.
Question number 212. Example of neutral flower is.
Great thinking. Ray florets of sunflower is the right choice.
Question number 213. Vegetative propagation is.
Exactly.
Asexual reproduction makes sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 2D14. The ploidy of endosperm is?
Nice work. You chose triploid, and it is correct.
Question number 215. Advantage of cleistogamy is?
Clear logic. Your choice, no dependence on pollinators, is sound and 100% true.
Question number 216. Which part makes the pollen?
On track. Anther is the correct answer.
Question number 217. An underground stem is dash. Valid point. Tuber is true. Question number 218. The female gamete is called?
Correct. Ovum is the right answer.
Question number 219. Female reproductive part is? You chose pistil, and it is correct. Question number 220. In ovals, what are present? Sharp thinking. Female gametes is the right choice. Question number 221. The fruit is ripened ovary. Well reasoned. True is the correct choice. Question number 222. A true fruit is formed from? Bravo. Ovary is the answer.
Question number 223. These parts attract insects. Perfect. Petals and nectary is the correct choice.
Question number 224. How does a potato reproduce? Excellent choice. Through stem is the right answer. Question number 225. Who discovered pollen tube? Well picked. GB Amici is the correct answer. Question number 226. Name the gametes in a plant. Solid response. Igen pollen is a valid choice. Question number 227. Pollen grain is produced in?
Well done. Anther is the right choice.
Question number 228. Potatoes reproduced by dash. Smart move. Stem tubers is an accurate answer. Question number 229. Where does the pollen land? Great job. Stigma is the accurate answer. Question number 230. Combining of egg and sperm.
Smart pick. Sexual reproduction is the correct choice.
Question number 231. Cucumber is an example of? Nice selection. Unisexual flower is the correct and valid answer. Question number 232. Which one is diploid cell? Excellent. Microsporocyte is a brilliant choice. Question number 233. Dash are the biotic agents? Right choice. All of the above is the best answer. Question number 234. Spirogyra is an example of? Right again. Fragmentation is a valid answer. Question number 235. What is the seed made from? Correct response. The fertilized egg is the most accurate answer. Question number 236. Tunicated bulb is seen in? Good thinking. Garlic is the right answer. Question number 237. Where pollination happens? Nicely done. Stigma is a solid answer. Question number 238. Epidrophily is found in? Strong choice. Tape grass is the right answer. Question number 239. Algae reproduces through? Good job. Your answer fragmentation works well here. Question number 240. Bread mold reproduces by? You got it. Your choice spore formation is right. Question number 241. Pollen is produced in the? You got it.
Your choice answer is right.
Question number 242. Find the mismatched pair.
Good job. Your answer strawberry. Stolon works well here.
Question number 243. Egg apparatus consists of.
Exactly. Egg and synergids make sense and it is right choice.
Question number 244. The carpel is made of the. Great job. Stigma, style and ovary is the accurate answer.
Question number 245. Spirogyra reproduces dash.
You're right. Fragments is the correct answer. Question number 246. Choose the correct match. Right choice. Ovary. Fruit is the best answer. Question number 247. Pollen grain contain the. Bravo. The male reproductive cell is the answer. Question number 248. A fruit is a ripened stem. Smart pick. False is the correct choice. Question number 249. The stamen is made of the. Correct response. Anther and filament is the most accurate answer. Question number 250. Whose part is an anther? Valid point. Stamen is true. Question number 251. Layering is practiced in. On track. Jasminium is the correct answer. Question number 252. Dash a green leaflets. Correct. Sipples is the right answer. Question number 253. The flower is a modified. Clear logic. Your choice leaf is sound and 100% true. Question number 254. The zygote develops into. Nicely done. An embryo is a solid answer. Question number 255. Bisexual 7, monosexual 3.
You chose 3 papaya, 7 brinjal, and it is correct.
Question number 256. Involves only one parent. Nice work. You chose a sexual reproduction, and it is correct if. Question number 257. Androecium is made up of. Good thinking. Stamens is the right answer. Question number 258. Fruit develops from the. Solid response. Ovary is a valid choice. Question number 259. Bisexual flowers contain.
Excellent choice. Both pistil and stamen is the right answer.
Question number 260. Stamen contains the dash. Great thinking.
Anther and filament is the right choice.
Question number 261. Hypha is present in dash. Well reasoned. Sporangium is the correct choice. Question number 262 requires only one parent. Well done. Asexual reproduction is the right choice. Question number 263. Pistil contains the dash.
Excellent. Style, ovary, stigma is a brilliant choice.
Question number 264. Ripened ovary means dash. Strong choice. Fruit is the right answer. Question number 265. A typical anther is dash.
Perfect. Bilobed and dithecus is the correct choice.
Question number 266. Cutting is used in dash. Right again. Both rose and sugarcane is a valid answer. Question number 267. Bulbs are found in dash.
Smart move. O9 is an accurate answer.
Question number 268. An example of hercogamy. Nice selection. Glorious is the correct and valid answer. Question number 269. Which gametes can move?
Sharp thinking. Spermatozoa is the right choice. Question number 270. Grafting is a method of. Well picked. Artificial vegetative propagation is the correct answer. Question number 271. Rose plant is grown by. Bravo. Stem cutting is the answer.
Question number 272. The stamen consists of.
Well picked. Anther and filament is the correct answer.
Question number 273. Corolla is made up of.
You chose petals, and it is correct.
Question number 274. Algae is reproduced in.
On track. Fragmentation is the correct answer.
Question number 275. Mature ovary forms the.
You got it? Your choice fruit is right.
Question number 276. The male gametophyte.
Good thinking. Microsporocyte is the right answer.
Question number 277. How is sperm created?
Nice selection. In the male's tests is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 278. Megaspore arises from.
Excellent. Nucellus is a brilliant choice.
Question number 279. The carpel consists of.
Nice work. You chose stigma, style, ovary, and it is correct.
Question number 280. What is pollination?
Smart move. How plants reproduce is an accurate answer.
Question number 281. Requires two parents.
Nicely done. Sexual is a solid answer.
Question number 282. A seed can be a dash.
Good job. Your answer all of these works well here.
Question number 283. Sugarcane have seeds.
Excellent choice. False is the right answer.
Question number 284. Mint can be grown by.
Great thinking. Layering is the right choice.
Question number 285. Pudding is common in.
Right choice. Yeast is the best answer.
Question number 286. The yeast is a dash.
Well reasoned. Unicellular fungi is the correct choice E.
Question number 287. Yeast reproduce by.
Correct. Pudding is the right answer.
Question number 288. Pen is referred as.
Right again. Primary endosperm nucleus is a valid answer.
Question number 289. A group of sepals.
Clear logic. Your choice calyx is sound and 100% true.
Question number 290. The fruit contains.
Correct response. The seeds is the most accurate answer.
Question number 291. Androecium is the.
Sharp thinking. Male reproductive part is the right choice.
Question number 292. Flowering plants. You're right.
Angiosperms is the correct answer.
Question number 293. Intine is made of.
Solid response. Pectocellulose is a valid choice.
Question number 294. Banana is a dash.
Valid point. Parthenocarpic fruit is true.
Question number 295. Oval is dash.
Great job. Female reproductive cell is the accurate answer.
Question number 296. Embryo sac is.
Well done. Female gametophyte is the right choice.
Question number 297. Cenogids are.
Strong choice. DN is the right answer.
Question number 298. Dioecistates.
Exactly. Unisexuality of a plant makes sense and it is right choice. Question number 299, scutellum is
Smart pick. Grass cotyledon is the correct choice.
Question number 300. Stamen are
Perfect. Male reproductive part is the correct choice.
Question number 301. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format.
Sharp thinking. Contact Narayan Changder on Facebook is the right choice.